Throughout the years, the government of Rwanda has empowered the youth in creating their own jobs and in creating technological business ideas to put Rwanda on the world's map. But for it to happen, Rwanda has to achieve more youth participation in politics. Also, there is need to put in place mechanisms, policies and strategies that emphasize and enable them to participate from grassroots to the national level. This includes political journalism in Rwanda's media houses, where a big number of young journalists are involved in other aspects like entertainment, business, fashion and others. But a remaining small number of political journalists still believe that everyone can work on political desks, but they should have what it takes.
What it takes to be on political desk or to be a political reporter, it's quite tricky because first of all, you have to be very updated on the current affairs, and you have to be someone who reads a lot. If I'm being honest, if you don't read, I don't think it's very easy for you to become a political reporter. And third, you have to also be well connected with the political circles. If I, for example, like political parties, government agencies, politicians, and writers, like people who are also in the political environment or people who are also in politics. So, because you know, after all, to be a journalist, you need to have your circle that inform you on a daily basis. So it's the same in politics. If you want to be a political reporter, you also have to surround yourself with mostly people who are also in the same field. If you are Rwandan, for example, and right now you don't know what's happening in Musanze, you don't know who is the mayor of Musanze, you don't know who, like what's happening, for example, in Transform Africa, you don't know what is, like, you don't know the Minister of Agriculture, you don't know the agriculture sector in Rwanda, how it looks like, how is the budget allocated there, all these things. If you don't know anything about it, then I'm sorry to say it, it's very hard for you to become a political reporter.
I think everyone can be assigned to work as a political journalist, as long as they just understand the topics. Because when it comes to politics, it can be a variety of topics. This goes hand in hand with being passionate, as any other professional sector. Because when you don't have the passion and work forcibly, then the content will be down. But when reporters become passionate, why not?
This is something that requires research, first of all, second of all, hard work, and third of all, being patient, because it is kind of hard, more than some other political desks. So yeah, everyone can do it. It just takes wisdom and yeah, everything that goes with it, because it just needs you to work on that.
Even though this young generation believes in the betterment of a political desk in the newsroom and the production room, they encounter many challenges, as they explain. We mostly face challenges during live interviews because as journalists we love specific answers, but politicians love structuring their speeches and answers, so they love having questions in advance so that they will answer in a smart way. That is basically the first challenge we can face. So others will be what I'll call concurrence. We are not that few and we all have to meet the deadline. And there are topics which are so attractive so that you have to be the best for you to achieve them all.
Traiter des sujets les plus attractifs.
Of course, we face many challenges. First of all, these politicians want you to do the way they want you to work, and that's not gonna happen because you will be biased by that time. And the very second challenge that we made as political journalists, second of all, is that they just want you to send them content so that they can modify it the way they want it to be done. And another challenge is that you can invite them on stage, you can invite them to have an article, to have a show with you, to have a talk with you so that you can have something to write on, something to produce on. So they'd be like, yeah, I'll be there. And by the time, when the time arrives, they just call off the show, they just call off your talk, so that you will not find like something to really work on on your very next article. So another thing is that they're so aggressive. Most of the times they'll be like, I don't want you to do this. And because they're just used to orders, they just want to give you orders as if they're your own boss. No, they're not your very own boss. You just have some people you work for. So the thing is, there are a lot of challenges, but we can do this.
Challenges that political reporters face today are almost the same. One is the political environment in different countries, the human rights abuse in different countries. So it's mainly the environment that political reporters work in. When you look at it in this way, you realize it's mainly political reporters, investigative journalists. They always face criticism by the governments where they work from, like the police, the army. They always face challenges reporting on issues to do with politics, because these are sensitive topics, by the way, if I can call it that way. Politics is not something they can wake up in the morning and do, especially in the world that don't really necessarily respect journalism or respect journalists. So when it comes on political reporters, political writers, political photographers, like anything to do with politics and the media, it's very hard, quite hard. Not even countries that we always call countries that are not doing well in terms of human rights. Even the US, the country we always see as well-governed, the country that we always call country that respects the democracy and everything, it always also face challenges. When you look at how media houses like CNN, like the New York Times, have been facing criticism from the President of the United States, Mr. Donald Trump. So it also shows that there is no single country in the world that can easily give space for political reporters to report, unless you're pro-government. So it's a problem across the globe that political reporters face. Mainly is the security, the threats from the government, the police. They're always facing threats from the police, and also the society that doesn't really think political reporters actually doing a great job. Some believe that, but others believe if you're a journalist and you're writing about politics, or you're reporting about politics, then you're a politician. So you automatically be labeled as a politician, which is quite interesting and very funny. So those are some of the main challenges facing by political reporters: the environment they work in, the threats from the government, the threat from the security agencies, but also plus to get sources. For example, you have a story you want to write on, a story you want to report on, but to get people who can give you sources is very hard in the world of politics, because people are afraid in different countries, people are afraid to give information, and this affects political reporters' daily work. So mainly is the threats from the government and threats from the security agencies, and also people who are not willing to give out information very easily. So basically, that's it.
Young journalists on the political desk encourage their fellow journalists to join hands with them so that they can build a strong political journalism for Rwanda and the rest of the world.
I just love to encourage them to come, let's do this. I just want to tell them that we are still few because they are fearing to come and join us. And yes, it's not easy. It's just the hardest test that you can ever be on, but it's really worth it. And the thing is, we stand between the politicians and the audience and the citizens. So if we do not do this, who else is going to do this? So I would just love to give them a message of just waking up and do not be lazy, and they just have to join us. Let's join hands and let's put this political desk on another level. Yeah.
Whether you're in sports, entertainment, business, technology, at some point you will have to join politics. So one way is to not do it. Second is do it professionally. If you're into politics, if you're into political reporting and political writing, just do it perfect. Avoid being biased, because governments and security agencies, all these people you're going to be reporting about, if you are biased against them, then they are coming for you. So you have to avoid being biased, you have to get your facts right, you have to get your sources right. And third, don't be neutral, if I can say so, if you can call it that way. Don't be neutral, just be truthful. Just tell the world the truth, and don't just be neutral. That's one. But also, if you decide to do politics, to do political reporting, to work on a political desk, just be ready for the consequences. Be ready to adapt whatever can happen, because this is not a field you can just play with. This is a field that is very tough. They need tough journalists, they need tough photographers, they need tough radio presenters. Not anyone can wake up in the morning and decide to do or to join a political desk. So if you decide to do it, just be ready to face the consequences. Don't be biased. Get your sources right. Check your facts right, and then do your job. At least, apparently, that's what I think can easily help you if you want to be a better political reporter, a better political writer.
Statistics show that 3/4 of the Rwandan population is composed by the youth, where 60% amongst them are 25 years of age and below.